Introduce yourself.
Yes.
Allow me to reintroduce myself.
My name is
God'swill.
Okay, people.
Don't be out there frowning. Put a smile on your face.
Here we are. Finally, we're here.
We live.
We're here.
Hey.
I'm
We're here.
alive.
Amen.
We actually wanted to do this before we dropped the music video, but things did your thing, but here we are. Here we are. So this is like, I don't want to call it an interview. It's just sit down, talk.
Post music video interview, right?
Post music video conversation.
Something light, something calm.
It's a conversation, some light, some slight,
So it's like,
With the one and only God'swill Productions.
God'swill Productions.
We're going to talk about that. I'm glad you brought that up. Anyways, my name is God'swill. This is DERE
David
and-
Simon Ogar.
or short for DERE, right?
DERE, that's my artist
DERE,
name.
yes.
DERE, yes, sir.
And that is YatiThePrince,
YatiThePrince.
the one and only.
AKA Yachty Live when I used to get light back in the days.
Okay.
Hey. Let's get it.
That's what's up.
And
Wow.
my real name is Tavon
Tavon. That's how you
Tavon.
pronounce it. Yeah.
Williams.
Yes, sir.
The song, the
Smile for me now.
Smile for Me Now. Yep.
Ain't smiled in a while.
I thought
Smiling
was a part of your style. Don't stop now. Smile for me, child.
Facts.
But yeah, let's talk, man.
Yes.
Who are you guys?
So
You
my
know?
name is DERE, as we introduced before. I'm a Harlem resident, born in New York City, born in Brooklyn. I'm currently 29 years of age. I'm an avid writer, an avid music artist. I love different genres. I love hip hop, R&B, classical, smooth jazz. I remember when I was younger, my dad used to play a bunch of R&B and jazz in the car. So one of the first ways I got into it, in his old Nissan Maxima, him driving around, just vibing, thinking the moon is chasing me. As a kid, you can relate to that. So yeah, I mean, I love music. It just takes me to another place, and I get to work with my brother here, Tavon. He can tell you more about himself.
Yeah. So me, I'm from Long Island, New York. I was born and raised in Long Island, New York. My dad is actually the
So
reason.
you're an island boy.
Yeah, so my dad is actually the reason why I started rapping, because he was a rapper back in the day. He was a popular artist. So when I was young, he taught me how to rap, and I used to always listen to his songs. And before I knew how to rap with my own lyrics, I would be rapping his songs and telling people like, yeah, that's my song right there.
Getting the street cred.
Smooth.
But yeah, he actually had a song on Hot 97 with Angie Martinez. He made a song for Hot 97, and it ended up getting played on the radio. And that's when I knew. I was like, yeah, he got one. Yeah, so I give credit to him because he's the reason why I rap today, because I grew up around him rapping all the time. And he still makes videos on TikTok, real popular on TikTok now. His name on there is Jamal DaCosta. Hey, Dad.
Shout out Jamal DaCosta.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Wow, okay, well, I guess I'm next. I'm from Nigeria, first of all.
My job boy.
My name is God'swill. I'm a filmmaker, right? Not just a cinematographer. I'm a filmmaker, and I don't necessarily have any prior history or connection with film. That was only something I got into not too long ago, actually. Maybe like 3-4 years ago. To be honest, it was almost like a package that dropped from heaven. I have no better way to explain it. I wasn't into art, so to speak. Okay, so how did y'all meet? How did this happen? How did this song happen?
Actually, I think I need to say.
Yeah.
How did this happen?
Yeah, so for the longest time, when I was in church, when I first started coming to Christ Embassy, yeah, Enoch and everybody was like, yeah, this guy David makes music, and I was like, yeah, okay. This was before I even thought about making Christian music.
Question. Who's Enoch?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Who's Enoch? Shout out Enoch.
Come on.
Is it the Enoch that we
Yeah,
saw? The name is it the name we saw in the music video?
Yes.
That
Enoch?
Yes,
the Enoch in the video.
Pay attention to the phone.
On the phone.
Pay attention.
Attention to detail. So
sir.
yeah, shout out to Enoch, my cell leader. He introduced me to David. He was like, yeah, he makes music. And at the time, I was going through a lot of mental health issues. So I was very paranoid. So I was like, I'm not going to this guy's house. I don't know him. I don't know. I didn't trust people at the time. But then, long story short, one day I was like, you know what? Let me go over there and see what this is about. And when I went over to David's house, saw a studio, and then it seemed like, the Holy Spirit was like, Christian, you should do Christian music. And the first day I went there, we recorded a song called No Omens.
Yeah.
It was a freestyle. It was a Christian rap freestyle.
Too long of a song.
Yeah. And then ever since that day of introducing, my skill or whatever I could do lyrically, with David, now it's been history since, and we never stopped hanging out and making music together. So that's how it all started.
Right.
Okay.
So if I had to add, that day when Tavon first came over to my crib, I also connected to him in such a way that I could just see this guy. He was such a big guy sitting in the corner. In church, actually, he's kind of like the security guard of our church. You can see his demeanor now, big shoulders. Imagine this guy just walking up to him and being like, what's up? Kind of intimidating. But I also saw this light in him. I saw this friendly nature that was hiding behind that. And so that really just drew me in to who he was. And I remember on the car ride to my crib, and I finally convinced him to come over and start jamming. We connected on the mental health aspect, because at that time in my life, I had also been going through some mental health issues, anxiety, paranoia, unfortunately. But God has delivered us from those things, and it's something that we've always connected on, especially as brothers, and talking about our trials and tribulations, but also how strong it's made us in a way too. So also shout out to anyone else going through something like that, because it's tough, and we know where you're coming from. But God has a way.
And making Christian music is one of the things that's driving me to really tell my story to other people, right, and reach young people that are going through similar situations. And I think the world needs Christian music, Christian artists, because if you listen to the music now, it's very demonic to me. And not gonna name any artists specifically, but
PR.
Yeah. So, but if you listen to the music on the radio, that's actually a good story that I have, is that I actually completely stopped listening to secular music.
I can attest.
Yeah. So I actually stopped listening to secular music, and that took me a while to stop doing that. But then, when I started coming to this specific church, Christ Embassy Manhattan, and learning the truth and learning from Pastor Chris about, the music. Music is like we literally have our own music. If you think about it, Love World Singers.
Shout out Love World Singers.
Yeah, so they make their own. We literally have our own worship music, and I was like, you know what? The more I listen to Christian music, I turned from it, and finally I stopped listening to secular music, like, altogether.
Oh, and just so you know, I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. But off camera is our cinematographer on this music video.
What up, people?
That's Brother Daniel. But you got a special name you want to tell the audience?
Yeah, that's
a special name? Danny Drummo? Danny the Drummo.
The man of wonders.
Yeah, so he's on camera. Now let's go into Smile properly.
Oh yeah, smile for me now.
So what is this song about and how did it come about? What's this song about?
I guess I'll start. So this song is about having Christ in your life, but also willing to show it. The willingness to not let it drop or letting him drop out of your life. Being representative of who you are. You know, there's a line that goes, smile for me now. I thought smiling was just a part of your style. And everyone's smile is unique. It's how you're usually remembered. Because if you know, when you chill with someone, when you hang out with them, it's how they connect with you, the good moments usually. They don't usually try and remember the little lulls, the little things that are boring, but what made them smile when you were around. And then they remember how your face looked during that moment. I would argue a lot more people are more visual learners and more visual when it comes to remembering something. So your smile is just a unique part of that moment and how people you're remembered.
How you not gonna smile when you got
God's grace?
How you not gonna smile when it lasts in your face?
Don't be down, because you're stronger than that. Lift yourself up like a wing on your back.
Okay,
so yes.
We're gonna end up singing this whole song. So how did it happen? Who thought about the song? Who began to write the song? You know, why that title? All of that stuff.
Yeah, well, it was David's idea actually to come up with that song. But you know, we write our own lyrics. I write my own lyrics, of course. You know, David writes his own lyrics, and it was very easy. You know, when you hear "Smile," you know, it's very easy to write something about that and relate it to God. So, and give a positive message, like, you know, smiling. You know, when you think you smile, you think of the joy that God has, and
Amen.
God is a God of joy. So it was very easy to write about smile, and yeah.
Did you guys have a title for it already before?
Did we? Oh, it was called Smile For Me Now, actually, to start off.
Yeah.
But we shortened it to Smile because I guess it sounds better and it's more, you know, more relatable, generalizable.
Right? Were there any experiences in your life that fueled the message or the song?
Definitely.
In any way?
Well, for myself,
that you want to talk about?
Yes. As me and Tavon mentioned before, we battled with mental health issues before in our lives, and God has delivered us from that. But I remember young times and when I had tough times, you know, trying to keep my smile up. I've always been a kind of a smiley person. I'm more of a, like, you know, chill and willing to express myself. But there's sometimes, of course, you receive hate in life and people don't always mesh with you. And that's nothing against anybody, but not everyone is for you. Whether they're doing it intentionally or you just don't mesh as personality, and that's okay. But sometimes it's hard to keep up in that moment, the emotion, and so your smile may fade. And so I just wanted someone, I thought of if someone was me, if I wanted to tell myself in that moment what to do, to keep smiling, because the smiling is the best thing you can do. It doesn't hurt anybody. It's good for your mental, and you can react better to situations. And so I just want to say that keep smiling. You know, no matter what anyone has to say about it, it's your style. It's who you are. So, yeah.
Yeah, me, I've always been a person that smiled a lot, laughed a lot. It was a blessing, and it was also a bad thing at the same time. Because, man, when I was in high school, I was the comedian, the class clown. So I was always cracking jokes in class, getting kicked out of class, and boy, did I get some whooping. Because I relate to that. Over there trying to impress girls in class with the jokes and stuff. But I've never been a person that got into trouble. It was mostly because I just played around too much. They tried to say, "Oh, you got ADHD or ADD," because you're very out there, with my energy. And that's always been me, making people laugh, make people smile. That's why I have so many people that I'm still close with till today, that I've known for years. And, you know, I've never had issues with, you know, holding relationships and friendships with people, you know. But don't get me wrong, there were some down times, you know. There's always going to be those people that no matter how positive you are, they just don't like you. So the neighborhood that I grew up in Long Island, you know, I had bad memories there because of that specifically, but I never let it get to me. And then when I joined the military after high school, and that's when life got better, and I started learning how to be a man. So, you know, long story short, you know, now I'm out of the military and life got better, and I don't let people get to me anymore. So, because I got some discipline, so yeah.
It's their song. I just came on board. Should I talk about that now or later?
No, let's talk about how long you've been playing in this video.
Oh, please, we cannot forget that God'swill is the main reason that we made the video to Smile.
Yeah.
Because we always wanted a music video, but it was sort of unplanned that it became Smile. And God'swill was actually kind of the one that pushed how good Smile was and how marketable it was to people. And it's only by listening to it over and over again and the thought of it.
Putting a lot of behind the scenes work for this video.
Yes, and the thought of it.
And that I didn't even know about. He was just doing stuff. Then when I saw all the smiles of everybody in the video, I was like, oh wow, this guy's been doing. And then people were like, oh, God'swill did that video of me like a year ago. And I was like, a year ago? So you've been thinking about this video from that long ago? So yeah, that was interesting. The video. So should we even talk about the trials that we had to go through?
Oh my God, Airbnb.
Shout out to Nidro. Shout out to Nidro.
So, I go to film school, and I think the semester was rounded up, I'm not sure. And I was just looking for something to shoot because in class, did everything professor asked for. And sometimes I was the only one who finished the assignments. I was hungry to shoot something, you know. And I know they make videos, and I know they make music. Sorry, and you know, I go to hang out at David's place where Tavon usually be at, and I was like, we should shoot a music video someday, you know.
And you kept on trying to say it. You say it constantly, and I was like.
I kept saying that. But then that day, that blessed day, that fateful day, I was at David's place, and I just said, you know, let me just hear some of your songs, see what we could use, you know. And I'm listening to him playing song after song after song. Then he plays Smile. And I let myself open. So I'm just listening to the song, and the song just brought pictures, you know, and to a director, that's very important, you know, the vision, the pictures. So that brought pictures to my mind. It's a very lovely song. It was very heavy. It was loaded, you know. It sounded like it needed a video, needed a picture to it, you know, needed a face to the song. And so that was the song we picked. It's a lovely song. So I got the MP3, and that same day, actually, it wasn't my idea for the smiles at the end. It wasn't my idea. It was probably you or Daniel.
It wasn't me. To be honest, it wasn't me, but I'll take the credit.
Anyways, so we just had this idea that why don't we just have a bunch of smiles? That
was a very good idea.
Just play, God. Just play at the end of the video.
Oh, please.
Just because it goes with the story. You know, originally I had wanted a lot of smiles, like 100, maybe 50, because it's like
bro, that video would have been like. It's already over 5 minutes. Yeah. That video would have been like close to.
But if there was like 50 smiles, it would have been flashing, just smile after smile.
Yeah.
It would have been a smile attack.
A smile montage.
Was that one of your lines? Smile attack. Smile attack is in the song.
Smile drop joy like a laugh attack.
Like a laugh attack or
laugh attack.
Yeah.
When your stomach's hurting and
Yeah. Oh my God, I've had those moments. But yeah, so. But anyway, so that was the very first thing we shot, actually, the smiles at the end. So I think the following Sunday, I'm not sure, I was in church and I was going through asking the brethren, can I shoot a quick 5-second smile of you? We're going to use it in a music video, blah, blah, blah. I just spoke to whoever was available at the end of service that day. So that's what we did. And we got those smiles a long time ago. A long time ago.
And we got it done during the year of completion.
Amen.
Year of completion, exactly.
Shout out Pastor Chris.
Shout out Pastor Chris. Thank you for the opportunity.
Amen. God bless her.
So yeah, a long time ago, that was the first thing we shot. I'm a filmmaker. I tell stories. I didn't just want to put a camera on them and just get them performing. You can do that every day, any day. I wanted to tell a story, so I, went to the drawing board, and coming up with a story was not easy. It wasn't easy. Shout out to all the writers, film and TV or whatever, just writers in general. Writing it was not easy. I needed a good idea, that's worthy of this song this guy's put out. And eventually the story came through.
We had 2 other actors, one of my best friends who also actually got me into music. Shout out to K-Sean if you're watching this, because he helped me to start freestyling along with my other friends from middle school. Tyler, Steve, Papa, and K-Sean, those are my other brothers, besides Tavon here, and of course everyone else. But doing music with them originally was great, freestyling, finding my sound. And then K-Sean was supposed to be one of our main actors. Fortunately, he had a caveat. And then supposed to be my other brother, Daniel, like our amazing Daniel behind the camera. So shout out to all the Daniels.
Shout out to all the Daniels in the world, bro.
So, but he had a caveat as well. So we were just thinking how are we gonna get this done? I think it was like the day before or like the last day to shoot. We had like a little bit of time. Like I said before, Daniel, my brother, and K-Sean couldn't be the main actors, but we knew that God'swill had a vision for the story, for
Nobody
the video.
knew it better than God'swill.
No one could bring your vision to life other than you, the way you want it. Yeah. And that's just to anybody out there watching. Make sure you follow through on your own vision, because God put it in your mind for a reason. Right. And so we want him to act it out and make sure he could be, the main character in our Smile video.
Yes.
And you just see the way he just took on the role and embodied what he was trying to show. You can see it in the video, no dub, but yeah, so good job, bro.
I didn't think God'swill had plans to even be the actor. He told me, I just want to do this movie. He just was ready to shoot, and I was just there to help him co-direct it. Put in some ideas and get it going. So that was actually he was ready to just direct it. Because I know he always wanted to move from being a cinematographer to directing. He had told me about that and how this was an opportunity for him to do that. So he wants to actually direct the movie. That's what he wants to do for the first time. Yeah. Besides his own project, it's like, this is the... So he was looking forward to direct it and not to be the actor. Because he told me he's looking forward to it. And then guess what? That made me the cinematographer for the day.
So he made his debut.
Baba, tell him.
Come on now.
Oh, I got something to tell you people.
You made your acting debut, bro.
Nah, bro. Yo, so we got a picture. We got the picture. We have a story. This guy's ready to shoot. I asked one of our church members, Jesus, and so we got his place to shoot. Matter of fact, he left us with his key, just to use his space. And he stays with his brother, so it wasn't very convenient, but still he allowed us to use this place. And then around 2 a.m., or is it 1 a.m. or so, we get a call from David, from DERE.
Oh, yes.
That our actor, our main actor won't, how you want to say it? bailed or don't want to do it or just wasn't with it? Or
he definitely wanted to do it, but he was unavailable because
it wasn't available.
Just wasn't available.
Yes, that was
let's not go into the details.
Yeah, that was at 2 a.m. Oh, 2 a.m. Right?
Yeah,
that was at 2 a.m. of the day we were supposed to shoot. Man, we got that news, and so at 9 a.m. we had no actor, no one to do the story, you know, and it was very interesting.
That was a loss for
back
us
and
that
forth,
day.
lots of back and forth calls with Brother Daniel, like what do we do, blah blah blah. So Brother Daniel, had the amazing wisdom.
He said it's not gonna happen. We're not gonna get it done today.
For us to shoot the performance element in Domino Park, right? So we just took out the camera, began to shoot something, and then the juices began to roll. And then we got that shot at the water.
Beautiful.
That's a retirement shot right there. I told him I can
retire off this shot.
I can retire with that shot. Few minutes into shooting, here comes a park security guy. Yeah, telling us, what did he even tell you? Because I was.
You're saying that usually we wouldn't be allowed to shoot because
we need a permit.
We need a permit, and but he'll grace us because
he said my boss isn't here today.
Yeah,
and that was grace.
We weren't in the way either, so
and we weren't doing a lot. There wasn't a lot going on.
After that performance shoot, I was like, if we only have the smiles and I'll be satisfied. You know, because the shots were good.
Yeah.
Y'all did your thing. Several people told me they like the whipping the devil like a car just bought.
The devil like a car just bought.
Yeah, Repka specifically liked that shot. Shout out to Repka.
And I was whipping the devil like that.
Whipping the devil.
Go back in your hole.
That was one of my favorite lines.
One part I like to, like from the sky above. So you pointed up and you shot out. Yeah. So that was good by the bridge.
Now this is Brother Daniel's place. This is actually this is actually backdrop for another big project coming up called. You want to tell the name now or?
Yes for now. It's coming
CS.
up. You'll find it.
If you know, you know.
And the set is gonna be.
You know. So
we're still designing the set.
This is
first stage.
And so we only were able to get the story part, the performance part of that day. Went home. We were happy. If that was all we got, I would have been satisfied. It would have been a wonderful, wholesome song, especially with the smiles at the end.
Yeah, we were actually satisfied, right, bro?
Yeah.
Like we were satisfied.
I actually contemplated just starting to cut right there with what we got.
And make this music video just like that.
Yeah. Second time we're ready to go again. We rent gear again. We got Jesus' place, but we were supposed to shoot there, but it just didn't work out. And now we were location-less, potentially actor-less, and like what's going on? What are we doing? We have gear that we rented, and but Brother Daniel suggested we use an Airbnb. I mean, there were many things we could have used, but we didn't really want to spend more than we already have spent.
Yeah.
So, but I think he covered. He did
cover originally the Airbnb cost.
Yeah,
he brought the for that as well.
Yeah. So we looked for like David, like Tevon said. And you ain't talking a while. I thought talking was a part of your style. Don't stop now. Talk for me now.
Let's talk again.
So we got into the Airbnb. This was around 10 past 10.
Yeah.
Before we began to shoot was 12, well into 12, yeah. So we began to shoot that story.
Checking the lights.
12. I'm gonna reserve.
Don't forget you made me drive across the world to get a Rhapsody for the video.
Oh yes. So the Rhapsody of Realities, a very important character in that story because I wrote the
top-selling
story.
devotional all over the world.
All over the world. 8,192 languages translated so far. The most translated book in the world. I think more translated than the Bible, right? But anyway, so yeah, Rhapsody Realities. Looking for a copy of Rhapsody because I wrote the story with Rhapsody in it. Because I want to put Christ Embassy out there. I want to put Pastor Chris out there. I want to put Rhapsody out there. It's a wonderful book.
Shout out to Sister Enrich.
So I'm calling several people that day. Like, yo, we need a copy of Rhapsody. I called Governor Lou. Shout out to Governor Lou.
Yes.
Called Governor Lou. Do we have a Rhapsody remaining at church? And she says, no, they're all out. Because it was March 2025. Rhapsody Realities, adult Rhapsody Realities. And we didn't have it at church. Called several people, they didn't have it. Called Marva, called Esnel, called Muelu. They didn't have it.
Nkechi.
Somebody had it. Somebody had it, but we just couldn't go to them. It was complicated. But anyways, but then, how did we call Sister Enrich?
It was my idea.
So he said the call Sister
Because I be
Enrich.
knowing, because they be doing outreaches and stuff.
Right. Oh yeah,
So
yeah. They be having.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we call Sister Enrich. Shout out to Sister Enrich and Brother Val. So we call Sister Enrich. Like, do you have a copy of Rhapsody Realities 2025 March? And she did. And she lives in Harlem, right? That's Harlem, right? She lives in Harlem.
Ooh,
and
yeah.
we just got raw milk. We just picked up raw milk. We just picked up raw
Manhattan.
milk. Yeah. We had just picked up raw milk.
The milk fanatic.
This thing is full of stories. But I just picked up raw milk from our Connect, you know, and so we're looking for Rhapsodies. We had to drive to Harlem, bro. I had to drive to Harlem and meet up with Sister Enrich. So we got the Rhapsody. Now we're in the Airbnb and I was shooting well into 4 a.m.
Yeah,
5 a.m.
6 a.m. Taking turns.
Tavon goes to sleep.
Yeah, I was not playing.
Wait, before he went to sleep, you gotta tell him how we was jamming to R&B music.
Man, we got some pizza.
Got some pizza.
We got to keep ourselves going.
Yeah, because bro,
I had to play the 90s playlist.
And we was just jamming out.
Yeah, so
to keep ourselves awake.
Yeah, so that day was actually some of the behind the scenes you'll see and some of the commentary that we'll also put out. You hear some of those stories of what's actually happening, you know, under the hood of some of the actions that you see there. But yeah, it was very interesting. It was very tiring.
Seriously, bro.
Yeah, so now you have your first music video. How does that feel? The first music video out there.
Yeah,
and by the way, that song has done 1.2 thousand views on YouTube.
Wow.
Actually, $11.99 as of right now. One view away as of right now. 11:49 p.m. on April 25.
Wow.
April 27, 2025.
A little over a week of it
as of right now. Yeah, it's only been out for 9 days.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, how does that feel, man?
Well, definitely got me smiling.
Yeah.
But yeah, for a first music video, you know, the response that we've been getting from the video, you know, a lot of people, I saw someone leave a comment said the cinematic
masterpiece.
Yeah.
Who was that?
That was my boy Gabe, actually, who also does music. Be on the lookout. Hopefully, he'll continue to make music with us as well. So yeah.
Yeah, they said cinematic masterpiece and audio something.
Yeah, audio and cinematic masterpiece. Yeah, that's awesome.
But for our first music video, I think it was amazing. You know, I wasn't expecting it to be so, you know, unique. But
some of your boys actually, you put on your story that day that we launched. your boy was watching it on TV.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Yeah, he was watching it on his TV. It was surreal.
So who recorded him watching it? Was it his wife?
It was me.
It was you? You were there?
Yeah, I was recording him watching it. Yeah. Yeah. And he was like, "Wow, you got a music video out."
Yeah.
You know. But the response from the music video was a lot. It was a lot of good, positive responses. You know, there will be some critics, no names being put out there, but there were critics trying to say, no, but this is a good thing. The critics said we should have a female sing the chorus.
Yeah.
So I don't know, guys. Well, maybe we might have a remix. You never know.
Never know.
Hey.
I just want to say that, like Tavon's saying, most of the reviews were positive. A lot of people who we know and people who we don't know said many good things about it. It's crazy the way people who just are a part of your life take even more note of you, but not just more note of you, but really like are proud of you. Will come up to you and be like, "Oh, I saw your video. I can't believe you did this," or "No, I can't believe you did this, but keep going." And it's a really great feeling. It makes you smile. So, yeah, that's another thing I really loved about putting out a first video.
A lot of good responses.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I guess what I would say is my own thinking for the video is, again, if you listen to the lyrics of the song, they wrote the song by the Spirit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The lyrics of the song is at least when I was writing the story part for the video, it sounded very much to me like they were talking to someone who used to smile before, but now for some reason doesn't smile anymore. You know, and I really went in on that idea. And writing the story for in that space. Of course, it's a Christian music video. It's a Christian song. So, you know, there's many. I don't want to say many believers, but some of us have been there. I personally have been there, where even though I'm Holy Ghost filled, tongue talking, Christ embassy going, Pastor Chris loving member, I found myself in times in my life where I was not smiling, and just things were not well, you know, and so I wanted to I wanted to try to write something or to make a picture that if I saw it in that state, it would get me smiling again.
Amen.
And so that's the main goal for the video. It's entertaining, yeah, but spiritually speaking, that's the main goal. We just want to encourage somebody out there who might be in that space in your life right now where, for whatever reason, you know, it's just not working right now. Check out the video, you know, and hopefully it gets you smiling again. It'll bless you. Definitely bless you. I guess I would say some people said I acted the story part very well. I acted being depressed very well. I'll tell you this.
When you get no sleep, it's kind of easy.
I'll tell you this. I channeled two things. First of all, I channeled the memory of myself basically going through it. You know, channeled that, and I channeled sleep. Oh God. Channeled sleep and tiredness.
Don't forget no haircut.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. So I channeled sleep and tiredness and no haircut, and that's how you get a very, very good representation. Yeah. So it was pretty much real. It was organic. So that's a little something about that. You're gonna hear more in the artist commentary If we're gonna get a cinematographer's commentary, Brother Daniel will be so kind to give us the opportunity. Thank you for the opportunity. And then we'll get the director's commentary coming as well. It's gonna be dropping on DERE and Yati Music YouTube channel. And it'll also be on Winter Climb.
DERE and YatiThePrince.
Yes, get it right.
Get it right. Get it right. How did that name come about anyway?
Yeah, talk about that.
Oh. So yeah, the name YatiThePrince, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so it starts back to when I was in high school. I used to be in a dance group, and you know, we used to get like, hey, yeah.
Okay.
So they used to call me Yati Live.
Oh, I see.
So yeah, Yati actually came. You know, some people might be wondering, what does Yati mean? So what happened? They used to call me Taillight.
Taillight.
They used to call me Taillight, and then that was when I started my own dance group called Junk Food Club with me and my cousin, who also makes music and raps. But anyway, so yeah, my name Tay. The guy who I was dancing for, you know, in order to get into the dance group was like, why don't we turn Tay around backwards and make it Y-A-T instead of T-A-Y and add an I to it. So I said, all right.
Wow.
So, yeah, so that he I don't know how he thought of that, but that's how I got the name Yati Live. And then, you know, time flew by, and on Instagram I was like, what would be a good name for an artist? So I was like, you know, well, I'm royalty, you know, my God is a king, my God is a king. So why not keep the name Yati and add the Prince to it? So that's how that came about.
That's a very interesting backstory. Yeah, so that's us, man. That's us. So we're grateful for all the people who saw the video, listened to the song, streamed the song. Of course, you can find the song on Spotify, Apple Music,
Amazon Music,
Pandora, iHeartRadio,
everywhere. Of course, the music videos on YouTube. The link will be in the description of this video.
Yes.
And yeah, God bless you all for spending this time with us and watching the video, and for your love and support, all our fans and church members and pastors, just everybody.
Pastor Femi.
Thank
you, sir.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. We are eternally grateful. Thank you for the opportunity, everybody. And we love you all. There's more to come. And we'll see you soon. See you soon.
Peace.
It's been real.